Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unregulated Leadership. We are here because we would like to introduce our intern that we have with us, working with us this semester. We have Mirna, and she is, what year? This is your third year?
Actually, I was surprised. Yes, time flies. This is actually my first semester of third year. Apparently, third year, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Well,
second year-ish, I will say, at the
yeah,
OLP program. Yeah,
that's
um,
awesome.
that's that's terrifying.
So at the start of every semester, we like to interview the students that are going to do the podcast, so we can learn
Mhm,
a little bit about them, what they're interested in doing, purpose of why they want to do the podcast, what information about leadership do they want to get out of there, what type of
mhm.
people do they want to interview. So over the semester, we'll be able to just kind of talk through and make sure that you're getting what it is that you're looking to get by
Mhm.
doing this practicum. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from. Tell us how you even wound up at WJC. Just give us a little bit about your background.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to do this fabulous, wonderful, safe ride at the Unregulated Leadership Program, a podcast promoted by the CEO, Miss Dr. Douglas. And I think you're collaborating also with the Lionheart International Consulting. So this is great. I got this idea from always find my inspiration from other people around me, which is I'm very attentive to. So
Mhm.
you had an intern doing this podcast. I think this the previous semester. It's Pat
Mhm.
Costello. Yeah, and then he talked to us about like because I was also in the same program with him. When we have a field placement, we were discussing
Mhm.
about those field placement, and then I was inspired. I said, okay, it's something that I will do. We had also in the last residency, we had this person that came from the West Leslie University talking to us about like, oh, it is important for us to do a podcast. And I was like, okay, we have one here. Let me reach out. And that's when I reached out to you. So the motivation was really curiosity and also building some skills that I want to just enhance. And
Mhm.
I think so far I'm still learning, I'm still thriving, and I think
Mhm.
I can say that yes, I gain many skills that I'm still looking forward to just apply later on. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it was like by curiosity, and then with the idea of building new skills, right? Communication, because I'm Asian. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
Haitian.
Mhm.
I have an accent. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me see because I like to challenge myself. I said, let me see how does that look like to just have a nation speaking person in the OL.
Mhm.
I'm reaching out to other people that might be inspired and then that might be inspiring. So I was like, okay, that I can take the challenge. And I wanted to do something else. So I'm very pleased. Thank you so much.
That is awesome. I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that you're Haitian, that you have an accent, because I'm like, everybody has an accent. Everybody,
Okay.
even people, down south, people from New York, right? They
Yeah,
all from the United
that's
States of
true.
America, but
That's
they
true.
have like, you can tell like, okay, you're from the north, or you're from the south, or you're
Yeah.
from. So one of
Yeah.
the things that's important is diversity, and in America we have people from like every country, every continent, and so also bring awareness to the fact that in leadership we're going to be working with people from different places. So
Mm-hmm.
taking time to listen, taking time to
Mm-hmm.
understand the different cultures, taking
Mm-hmm.
time to how do you show up, in your
Mm-hmm.
family dynamic. So you might show up different at work. And I feel like a lot of times we don't have those conversations. And that's one of the things that I love about WJC is that there are people from all over. And the earlier seasons of Unregulated Leadership, Chloe, she lived in Lebanon, right? She lived internationally and was, worked with a podcast. And so we were able to interview some people from her
Mm-hmm.
country. And so it's really just bringing awareness. Leadership is all over. Leadership
Yeah,
is
and
not
I
just
think
in go ahead.
yes, and I think it's great what you just said. Not only because of me per se, I will say, but I wanted
Mhm.
to just challenge others. Like, okay, yeah, hello, I have an accent. We can discuss
Mhm.
about leadership. we can have a conversation, because most of the time the experience is like, what? I don't hear you. What's going on?
Mhm,
What
mhm,
is
mhm,
it? Can you, where you come from?
mhm,
I hear an
mhm,
accent. Yes. So that's proof that at Unregulated Leadership, we have very diverse personalities or diverse
mhm,
people that are doing the job actually. So
mhm.
uh, we are different, but we still can be part of the conversation. We still can be on
Absolutely.
the table. So that was my part, my contribution to say, hello, there's another one here, a little bit different, but something valuable to listen to or to just discuss about. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was my take.
absolutely. I
Mhm.
love that. So what about William James College brought you to want to be a part of that program?
Oh, okay. Once again, I have many friends, acquaintances, and people always see in me good things. This person who we work together, she's also a student, actually almost there in another program, right? She is in the clinical program. We work as, I am a mental health clinician, right?
Okay.
This is, I have a master's degree. So she was like, Mona, you will be very good in that setting at William James doing what I'm doing. I was like, what are you doing? She said, yeah, I'm doing a doctoral program. And I was like, okay, oh, I'm not interested. Too long. It was nothing about like being fabulous. No, it was
Mhm.
like, no, not for me. I'm good. I'm comfortable. And then she kept bugging me. And I was like, one day I was like, okay, I can do something different. I can still pursue. I can still be curious. Why don't I give it a shot? So
Mhm.
I did go to the clinical psychology at first, inspired by her. And then at my first semester, I was like, this is too rigid, because in the clinical psychology, you really have a training about like how to be a psychologist or to test people. And then I was like, this is very rigid, because I like, as you can see, I'm very outgoing. I like the
Mhm.
conversation. I like helping people by having a conversation and really having some intervention. And then while I was there, I also talked to a friend about William James. I convinced her to come to the program, and she did. And then I was talking to her, that second friend, about like, okay, I think it's not for me. And then the other program, you had to just be in person. And then I'm
Mhm.
working, I'm a mother, I'm an adult, I already have my life. So it was a lot of constraints, I will say, that
Mhm.
didn't fit me perfectly. And she said, Myrna, why don't you come to the OLP program? This is perfect for you. I think you will love it. I was like, what is it special about? And she talked to me about the program. And that's when I just do my research. I did my research and I just transfer. Since I've been there, I loved it. This is great. This
Mhm.
is exactly my place, because it's almost like um it's almost like the same work that I'm doing, but no longer with an individual, but with an organization. So
Mhm.
I'm still gonna meet people. I'm still gonna meet teams. I'm still gonna create, consult,
Mhm.
inspire, explore with people. I'm still gonna do the
Mhm.
same job, but on a larger scale, on
On
a
a
broader
larger scale,
scale.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what brings me to William James, really. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I think having that mental health background helps
Mm-hmm.
you with the organizations and the leaders of the organizations. Because a lot of times, leaders of organizations, they're not taking the time to focus on their mental health. So a lot of times, you might be able to recognize something in them and in that, but how whatever your treatment plan is or whatever, however you are working to help that organization, you might be able to suggest some of those things, right?
Yes,
Like, well, have you thought about this or have you thought about that? Because you recognize that is something that is a barrier to them being effective in their positions.
definitely. It's helpful when you come from a background of, evidently, they are recruiting from from the master's level, which
Mm-hmm.
is great, but having a background in psychology already,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like give you some awareness of, okay, what are you embarking with? What are the
Mm-hmm.
relationship? What are the listening skill? What are the coping skills that you need to embark when you are dealing with people, because it's still organizational leadership. It's all about like relationship with others and with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you, I will say that gives you a good, a good, I think a plus in dealing with the materials, etc. But that doesn't mean other people won't be able to adapt, because I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
this, yeah, because I experienced this program is a very sustainable program, and then this the instructors really like take you where you are and lead you. You know, they just build you up. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not where I was 3 years before, 2 years before. I can see it. I'm more confident with myself, managing my time, knowing that I'm a brand, that I'm still building myself. So
Yes, yes.
yes, that's giving me a lot of insight and
Mm-hmm.
opportunities to grow and also to give back to the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I love
definitely
that.
it's a great program. Mhm.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah,
Tell
and
me, tell
I can see this in you probably because you came from William James too. If I
I,
don't say it wrong, you came you
yeah,
graduated.
I
Yes.
graduated. I graduated in June of 2023 from William James. Absolutely loved it, which is why I wanted to stay and
Yes.
teach some classes and do have some students working with me with different projects in the practicum. Because I feel like there's so much about what we do and what we offer that people don't know. And a lot of
Mhm.
times in organizations, we're so focused on the task and the what to do that we're not developing leaders. So our focus is not there's a balance that's missing. We're not also developing leaders. We're just focusing on doing the job. And so
Yes.
we have so much dysfunction in the organizations and conflict and people not knowing how to communicate with each other, teams not knowing how to work together. And so I think this space, unregulated leadership, gives us the space to have those conversations and to bring awareness to some challenges that organizations are having or people are having. It's like, well, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with someone that is managing me and not leading me? But I understand the value of leadership, right?
Mhm.
Tell me some of the things that you think of that will be helpful for people for us to talk about this semester,
Yeah.
this season. What are some topics that we should bring awareness to, or that you think people will want to talk about this season?
Mhm. I think basically, it's a journey with unregulated leadership. It's a journey. There will be so many opportunities, but really that I think we tap into a good deed of bringing awareness towards AI and education,
Mm-hmm.
towards technology per se, towards self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we had that great conversation with Dr. Raphael about servant
Mm-hmm.
leadership. Because most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, you will be, some people may be attracted by this program, thinking, oh, organizational leadership. I'm gonna be that big person that know it all. And then we discover that it's not about that. We learn from each other. And when I think about like the Kentor model, I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
if the viewers are aware of it, because it's like an assessment. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about like the Will Colors assessment, giving you
Mm-hmm.
insight about yourself and how do you operate as a person, and
Mm-hmm.
how can you just like really be aware of your relationship with others, because this is what it's
Mm-hmm.
about. You're building yourself by building others. So
Yes.
the give and take. So that's what you're doing. By building me, getting awareness. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
seeing them, but they are there. Me
Yeah.
also, because I'm living the experience with you, building my skills. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that there are you know, so many things that are happening right now, people should talk about and be aware of. And I think
Mm-hmm.
this space may a great place to talk about it, because as an academia, as like a place that people are thinking, right? We are not only living, we are thinking, we are thinkers. We can also have this place where we bring things that are dear to our heart, but that are also happening in our communities. When we think
Mm-hmm.
about social justice, when we think
Mm-hmm.
about healthcare and justice, when we think about migration. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many topics that are really, really, really vibrant to our heart and to so many people can relate to, so that we can bring awareness to. Um, I would love this program to develop the concept as, um, we are not isolated, we are
Mm-hmm.
open to others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is about. We are open, and when we are open, we invite others to come and we grow. We grow. So so it's a different mindset, meaning like it's not a fixed, it's not a fixed mindset. It's like we are
Mm-hmm.
open to learn, we are
Yeah.
open to receive, and while receiving, we are giving. So it's a relationship. I think one of the best lesson that I've learned so far about organizational leadership, it's that we have in any relationship, even if with an individual or an organization, there's the basic is a relationship. So what do we bring, right? We bring ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
what do we offer, and what we
Mm-hmm.
gain from it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important for the school to open up a little bit. We're not isolated. Even like
Yeah.
reaching out to other colleges or other, I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that, okay, so we are there, and then what, or do we collaborate with other that are doing the same thing or that are in the same position than us, right? When I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
other colleges, because I don't see some colleges have that relationship. I don't know if WJC has that, to collaborate with other people, to learn from each other. So what's going on with you there? Okay, so I can share, and then this is what's going on with me, and I can invite you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
What you're describing is like creating collaborations. And one of the things that I love just about life, we can do whatever we want to do. You can have an idea and you can
Mm-hmm.
find another student at another school, or you can find another professor and create that collaboration. It just starts with one collaboration, and then it builds on top of that, right? And
Exactly,
so
exactly.
I think that what you're describing is great. And when we talk about openness, a lot of times we think we're open until we're not, until something happens and it's like, oh, I'm maybe not as open as I thought I was, right?
Yeah.
And then someone brings awareness to that, but they
Mm-hmm.
bring it in a place. One of the things we talk about in organizational leadership is psychological safety, right? Helping to create that safe space for people to naturally grow and to learn. So we're talking about being open. We have to like suspend that judgment sometimes that we might have of certain situations or certain cultures or whatever. But unless we're forced to operate in those spaces, a lot of times we're not even in those spaces to be able to, or no one's giving us honest or true feedback for us to be able to say, to self-reflect and say, maybe I'm
Yeah.
not as open, or maybe I should look at it
Yeah.
differently. Maybe I'm not as actively listening. You had
Mm-hmm.
mentioned earlier about your accent and people, saying, what did you say? What did you say? A lot of times we're not
That is,
listening slow
yeah,
enough,
what's going on though?
right?
She's a doctor. She would be, yes, I will be one.
So it's just the reality is just you have to slow down your hearing, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
to like really listen to what people are saying, because we're so quick to be moving and say it fast and say it fast. Like, well, you
Mm-hmm.
have to slow down. You have to slow
the,
down.
the
You have
leader
to
the
engage
leader must
different.
know, but a leader must know who is she. I would say she. The leader
Mm-hmm.
must know who is she and what she brings on the table. For me, I'm
Absolutely.
open to feedback. There's room
Mm-hmm.
for improvement always, right? We
Absolutely.
are learners. We are learning every,
Absolutely.
but we also can change the dynamic by, what do I have to bring? What can I bring? Right? When we think
Mm-hmm.
about, like, okay, not we say that we are open, but are we really open? And then
Mm-hmm.
what we do as
Mm-hmm.
leaders to make that happen? Yeah, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
mover. I'm an open mover, according to Kenton.
Yep.
I like to move things around, and
Yes,
I'm very
yes,
open,
yes.
so I can say what I like to say without hurting people. Yeah,
Yeah.
hurting people. I don't mean to hurt, but I mean, I like to gain great insight or
Mm-hmm.
feedback or finding the truth if there's a truth there. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really inclined to just, okay, take action. If something is not working, someone else bring it on the table. Let's look at it. and let's see, okay, what's there that can
Mm-hmm.
what is valuable in that proposition, not just
Mm-hmm.
reject. That's when openness is about. It's about like, okay, we are willing to sit, take a pause, and look. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not really dismiss without any time to just pause and look. This is not openness. Openness is about like, okay, I can hear you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening. Let's see together what's there, what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
address it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can create that. I think your space helps a lot in creating
Mm-hmm.
a conversation, and I
Mm-hmm.
hope that we continue doing this, what we are
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
So one of the things we like to ask everybody is, what's your definition of unregulated leadership and what makes you an
Mhm.
unregulated leader?
Yeah. The way I see it, it's really like I see that everyone in their life at a certain time in their life, they are exercising leadership. It doesn't have to be having the baton and then, preach a message or a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like action. What are you doing on your space? What are you doing with what you have? What are you bringing? So we all have things to bring. It could be compassion. It could bring my knowledge. It could bring my finances. Everyone has the possibility, the capacity to lead or to model, to influence as an unregulated leader.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, what guides me, it's really like curiosity, compassion, and I like people. I always think that I will be working with people, and I think I am at the right place because that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna grow. Yeah, I think I'm an emerging leader. That's a lot to do. Yeah, and then I'm not afraid because times times is a great ally in a sense that when you're doing what you're doing every day, because the leader should be someone that has a vision, a goal, or different
Mm-hmm.
goals to something to achieve. So with my goals and vision, I'm working every day. I'm open up my heart and my mind every day to learn and apply what I'm learning, and then I'm
Mm-hmm.
open to receive feedback. So yeah, it's like emerging to become what I was created to be. So I have no
Mm-hmm.
doubt that we will meet again, probably at another set for another
Yeah.
experience, probably
Yeah.
1 or 2 years from now. Yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
wait for this moment. Thank you so
Oh,
much
that's
for having
awesome.
me.
You're
Thank you so much for having
welcome.
me, Dr. Douglas.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
been a pleasant experience. I've learned a lot over these last few months, and I'm excited to see what you do and all the different things that you do. This will be great for you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much.